Okay, guys, you know who I am. The name is Jim. My letterhead's up the top here. You want to get in touch with me? Alright? Got a fresh video here. I'm going to give you young guys some advice before we get started. First piece of advice, never trust a naked bus driver. Second piece of advice, don't eat no yellow snow, right? And third piece of advice, don't draw on an inside straight. I just figured I'd keep you guys up to snuff. Okay, here's the video. See what it says? Rotary table ball turner. What the fuck is that? I just invented the term. I'm one creative dude. Alright? You know what a ball turner is? I'm making one using a rotary table. Hence, rotary table ball turner. Isn't that clever? Alright. Next, text. Old school challenge. Let me tell you about old school and new school. When I was young, me and my peers had what they call the generation gap between us and our parents. Today, the gap is wider between us and younger people. It's called a generation canyon, right? We came in on fax machines. You guys are flying around with cell phones. Big gap, big canyon, all right? Anyways, the key to this whole thing is I see these guys making these ball turners. Everybody's obsessed with them. All kinds of shapes, sizes, configurations. I'm really not impressed with any of them. There are a few. These guys are creative, don't get me wrong. They make some cute stuff. But I don't know if I ever recalled anybody measuring one to size, shooting for a size and hitting it, and it being spherical. I'm sure there are a few. I didn't see them, all right? Most of the ones I see, guys are trying to turn a ball. It looks like a football. Not even close. Why is that? They haven't got a fucking clue where the pivot point is or how to move it. You understand? All right, let me take you down where I am, down into the generation gap, back to the 60s and 70s, where we were making this kind of shit. When somebody said they wanted a certain size ball, they wanted it spherical. They didn't want it filed into shape. They wanted it machined to shape. You understand? They didn't want a form tool. They wanted it machined. I'm going to show you how to machine it. All right? You see this thing here? Remember this commercial? Where's the beef? Right? I'm saying, where's the pivot point? Right? That's the key to this whole thing. See it? The pivot point is the key. All right? Now let me show you a few of the ball turners. Top left. Pretty. Nice looking. Right? It might have some graduations on it. I'm not sure. But don't know. Anyways, now top right, boring head. If it's hung on a quick change tool post. If that's dead on center, now you can measure the sphere, right? But the point is, do you know where to put that pivot point? That's another point. Right, guys, put them all over the place. Bottom left again. Whole bunch of components. I'm sure all for a good functional reason that I don't understand at the moment. Right, the right hand side, shoe looking unit, right? Right? Creative. These guys are creative. Here's an older one here. That hung off a quick change tool post. You can see the area where the mouse is. Got clamped in there, and then this handle pivoted it. I guess a pin came down here, and you measured from the pin to the tool. I don't know. Alright? But that's early stuff. Alright? This one here, that hung from a quick change tool post. Alright, now let's go up to what I plan to do. Can I do it successfully? I think so. But I'm gonna let you in on it. Here's what I did. I did some research on a 4-inch rotary table so I could make this silly thing, right? And, there are a few parameters that I have to have, otherwise I can't make it. Let me go down here. See these follow the mouse, see the red lines? And about the total height from the base of this rotary table to the top of the rotary table has to be as low a profile as I can get, so I can get it under the workpiece in the lathe. You understand? I'm going to adapt this. I'm going to take my lathe compound off and adapt this to go on it so that it's nice and low and rigid, all right? Anyways, in the research, first of all, I'm going to point out the pivot. Well, let me do this. See that says 4-inch diameter there, right? Just letting you know its physical size. See this says pivot point, obviously dead center. When I put that hole in, I'm going to mill it in using the table so that the hole will be concentric to the movement of the table. I'm not going to put a boring head in there. If I was offset, the hole wouldn't be concentric. You mill that hole in. You understand? You might think I'm nuts, but I don't give a rat's ass. All right, furthermore, in my research, I watched a guy take one of these. He did a video, took it apart. The worm wheel and the worm were a nice fit, which really, I was excited about that. The graduations on the collar were in 1-degree divisions. You wouldn't believe it. There were others, instead of having 10 divisions in a circle, they had something like 12 or 14. The math was wonky as a bastard. I don't get it. This one had an even number of divisions. Understandable. Right? So you turn this thing 1 revolution, you get 10 degrees. You see on the graduations on the OD of the table? 5-degree increments. 5, 10. One turn of that hand wheel, 10 degrees. That's easy enough for me. All right? See this thing? It's called a table lock. So when you find where you want to be, obviously, you can put a screwdriver or a hex wrench on there, tighten it up. Where did I buy it? Amazon, $99. It came with an M6 clamping kit. That don't mean shit to you. What it really means, they define the part number. That M6 clamping kit fits a 3-inch and a 4-inch rotary table. It allows you to bolt it down flat to a milling machine table or vertical to a milling machine table. The brand name is a source. You see it? So if you're going to consider buying one, maybe my research will have helped you. Right now I'm going to show you what this thing can do, or what I hope it can do. Hang on, I'm going to take you to my CAD system. All right, now you're in my CAD system. I call it a scribble sheet. See this, where the mouse is? Top view, 4-inch rotary table. Side view, 4-inch rotary table. See this thing beside it? That's a 2.5-inch diameter shaft. I want to make sure that this part of the rotary table is under that shaft so nothing rubs. Now you see this thing standing vertically? That holds the tool bit on center. You see it there? There's the center line. Right? So the top of the tool is right on the center line. Never have to worry. You see this? An 832 screw below it. T-bolt pulls everything down. See this here? A cover, some screws. These two are down, and that one should be lifted and lowered to slide it. Let me bring you here. A lot of shit left out, but I'm gonna, there's enough here to let you know. All right, now you're looking at it with that block fastened to the rotary table. These holes, 832, I'm showing them here with that heads on. Now you don't want to hear all that. I took this and I turned it 90 degrees here, just to show you it's pointing in that direction. You understand? All right, there's one thing I forgot to show you. This is the 4-inch rotary table. In it is a pin. This is a pin. It fits in there real nice, right? And half of it is milled away. So this line right here is dead center. This pin can revolve by hand. All right, it's got to be a goddamn nice smooth fit. All right, now I use this pin like you would use an edge finder. All right, let me move this tool bit out of the way. Let me see. All right, now that's open. You see this? That's a 2.5-inch diameter. Don't let that 3.5 fool you. See, that's 2.5 right there. If I wanted to touch off on the edge to find out where to put the pivot point, I could do it. Let me show you. Just a little thin bit. You see? So you touch off there. That edge is dead center on the rotary table. You can either lock it in with an indicator, lock it in with a DRO, but you can get the position of the pivot point. Let me get this out of the way. All right. Now I'm going to show you right here. I got a whole lot of shit here, but I'm only going to do a little. See what I do up here? 2.5 inch diameter shaft, and I got 4 quadrants, quarter of a ball. You see that? You do it all the way around, that would be 1/4 of a ball. The side obviously the same. Now looking at this side, it's half a ball. Alright? But these are the pivot points. If you want to draw one up, that's what you would draw. Let me define it for you. I'll dimension this. Let me get all that garbage out of the way. Alright. See that? 624. 624, you see it? They're all the same. See this invisible line? Let me just... That's 624. Everything's 624, just to let you know. Okay, now the trick. And it's easy. The trick to cut this part right here. See it? With this preset, which is easy. I'll show you later. Right? I'll show you how you can pivot that table and cut what you want. Alright? Okay, I'm gonna... Hang on. Now the trick is to put this pivot point, see it right there, onto that pivot point. And you can do by locating, like I showed you. Alright? Locating that is easy. See it? And you know this radius, you know all the radiuses already. I'm going to pivot that. Oh, okay. Damn. All right. Now I'm going to rotate that table and cut. Go on, you piece of shit. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. You buy cheap, you get cheap. There. That's gonna come right up. Ain't gonna interfere with nothing. See it come right up, nice and sweet. Alright? I can do that with all the radiuses. I can make this pocket and do what I want. Alright. I took enough of your time. I can do a whole lot more, show you how to make this work if you're interested. If you're interested, give me a comment. I don't give a shit what you tell me. But if I don't get any traction, I'm out. I'm not going to go through all this shit without getting some kind of traction. I need some help. I need some enthusiasm. I need an attitude adjustment. Comment. All right? I'll catch you later. I'm out.